Good morning. I wish to call to order this meeting of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Wednesday, October the 4th, 2023. I will note for the record that Commissioner Thomas is joining us virtually, and Commissioner Jones and I are present in the Nat U. Hill room. We'll start with the Commissioner's public statement. We, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, renew our commitment to welcome and protect the rights of all people, regardless of age, race, color, creed, disability, sexual orientation, gender, gender identity, marital status, economic status, and national origin. And we affirm the right of every person to live peacefully and without fear. And we will fight and resist at every step discrimination and harmful policies, whatever their source. We also stand in support of our county public school systems, both RBB and MCCSC. At this point, we'll go to department updates. Is Ms. Kelly with us? Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Just a few updates for you. So according to the Indiana Department of Health COVID-19 dashboard, as of September 26th, COVID-19 hospitalizations, emergency department visits for COVID-like illness, COVID cases, and wastewater concentrations have all decreased. According to the CDC, the COVID subvariant EG5 currently makes up the majority of cases in the United States. The federal government is offering 4 free COVID tests per household. These can be ordered at covidtest.com. There is no cost for shipping, and individuals will only need to provide their name and address. The public health clinic located on Miller Drive has flu vaccines. We are still waiting on COVID and RSV vaccine shipments, though. You can make an appointment by calling 812-353-3244.
Thank you. Was that website covidtest.gov or covidtest.com?
Covidtest.gov.
Thank you.
GOV.
I wanted to write it down as well. Any questions or comments?
No, I don't.
Do you know approximately when you expect to get the vaccine in for COVID and RSV?
So we were told that those should ship out this week. We have started scheduling appointments for those after October 19th. So we are scheduling appointments. We just don't have them yet. And so hopefully within the next few days, we will get those.
And those are appointments that are available through the public health clinic?
Yes, that is correct. Through the 812-353-3244. So I have been told that appointments are filling up quickly, but we're also looking at still scheduling those out and then being able to also have some weekend hours available.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We'll see you later, I think, maybe.
Thank you.
Is there any other department updates for today? Seeing none, I do want to say one thing before we move on to the next item. I want to congratulate Monroe County Treasurer Jessica McClellan. The Association of Indiana Counties has named her Treasurer of the Year for this year, and Jess is always on it. She is there, she's working, she is there for people that come in with questions, concerns, and so we're very proud of her. Congratulations to Jessica. Okay, with that, we'll move on to public comment. These are for items that are not on the agenda. Speakers are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. And if you wish to say anything, please indicate your name and whether or not you are a resident of Monroe County. I don't see anyone in either the Nat U. Hill room or online who wishes to make a comment. So with that, we'll move on to approval of the minutes.
Move approval of the minutes for September 20th, 2023.
Second.
Are there any comments or questions? I didn't have any either. So with that, since we're hybrid, I'll ask Ms. Purdy to call the roll.
Commissioner Githens.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. Next item.
Move approval of the claims docket, accounts payable, September 27th, 2023.
Second.
And this week I will call Mrs. Miller to talk with us.
Good morning. The accounts payable claims docket for October 4th, 2023 totals $2,111,937.61. This includes all emergency claims and adjustments. The payroll docket for October 6th, 2023 includes $1,336,890.09 in direct costs, and the remaining $566,990.59 were for indirect costs, for a grand total of $1,903,880.68.
So the accounts payable was actually for October the 4th, not September the 27th.
Oh.
No, something's wrong on our agenda.
And it also didn't have the payroll docket, so I didn't make a motion for that.
So do you want to amend your motion?
Yes, I'll amend my motion for the accounts payable, was that October 6th?
4th.
4th.
And then payroll of October
And
6th.
a payroll of October 5th.
6th.
6th, I'm sorry, if it's not on my
It's okay.
agenda, I don't get it.
Second.
Great. Okay. Is there any comment or questions on these? Is there any public comment on this? Seeing none, Ms. Purdy, will you call the roll?
Commissioner Githens.
Yes?
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
I will note for the record that we have reports from the Clerk of the Circuit Courts for August of 2023, from the Treasurer for 2023, and for weights and measures covering the period from August 16th through September the 15th for 2023. And with that, we'll move on to new business. And I'm not ignoring people. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do here. The first item is a public hearing for ordinance 2023-37, road vacation East Mount Ebel Road. Do we need a motion first?
Not yet. I would go ahead and open the public hearing, hear the information, comments, questions from the board, and then go to public comment for the public hearing, and then close the hearing, and then one of us makes a motion.
Okay, so I will open the hearing on this, and we have with us Ben Ayers of the Highway Department. Mr.
Yep.
Ayers, good morning.
Good morning. We received a request from the property owner's surveyor. They're going through a petition with the planning department, and currently the plat shows an old right-of-way for what was Mount Ebel Road. It was abandoned back when Lake Monroe was built, and actually reconstructed as part of East Point Road now. The old segment, let's see, still shows on the deeds and surveys for many years. The property owner's just trying to clean up some stuff down there. From highway standpoint, we're in agreement with this.
So we're just basically taking it out from under the county's jurisdiction. We don't have to.
It's basically a private driveway now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So is there any public comment in favor of this? Is that what I understand, Commissioner Thomas? What?
You can take comment from anybody.
Okay. Are there any comments at all, public, from my fellow commissioners?
I actually have a question for
Sure.
Mr. Ayers, if I could.
Sure.
Thank you for presenting this. I didn't get a chance because this was added late to our agenda. I didn't get a chance to go out there. There are some homes with driveways connecting to Mount Ebel. So it's the entirety of Mount Ebel, and it becomes a private roadway or a private drive, right? It's
So this is this is west of Sugar Creek or west of Lake Monroe there. We're still going to maintain the east part of Mount Abel Road off of Fairfax.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. That's very helpful to have that clarification. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mention the correction?
Oh, yes. In the ordinance that was drafted, there is a correction that has been made. I've been told in section 3, it stated that the property was going to go back to the adjoining owner of Van Buren Township trustee, and that's been omitted. It's just going back to the property owner.
Okay, so it's not the Van Buren
Yeah.
Township trustee?
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Any other comments on this? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
You need to close the public.
Oh, I need to close the public comment period. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval for ordinance 2023-37, road vacation, East Mount Ebel Road.
Second.
And now do I have to have additional comments? No? Great. Okay, Ms. Purdy?
Commissioner Githens.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. And now we'll move on for a discussion of the public hearing for ordinance 2023-38, road vacation, Christopher Lane. Again, we have Mr. Ayers. Maybe I can get it right this time.
Yeah. So we received a request from the property owner, John Chambers, to remove or vacate right-of-way that is shown on a plat across his property. It was actually platted as part of the seminary lots, what they call back in 1852. And then it shows again on a recent plat that was done in 2016. Again, it's a private driveway. It serves 4 or 5 residents back there. Notification was sent to all of them. I think they're all kind of in agreement with it. They're all family. We don't maintain Christopher Lane. It's I don't know why it's even called Christopher Lane. So, but yeah, that's where we're at with that.
Thank you. I'll now open this for general discussion. Any comments or questions at all?
No, I don't.
I don't either. It seems very straightforward, and it's nice that you've got cooperation from everyone involved. So with that, I'll close the public discussion, call for a motion.
I move approval of ordinance 2023-38, road vacation, Christopher Lane.
Second.
And since there probably is no further discussion on this, I'll ask Ms. Purdy again to call the roll.
Commissioner Githens.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayers. Next item.
Move approval of resolution 2023-28, issuance of GO bonds.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
We have an amount of up to 3.1 million on that.
Yeah, 3.1 million.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, and the fund name and number is to be decided.
Okay, and I'll second that. Yes.
Okay. This is kind of housekeeping. This is just part of the procedure that the county has to go through for the issuance of a general obligation bond. And the commissioner's approval of this resolution is necessary in order to move forward. To give you an idea of the proposed projects, totaling $3.1 million, which includes administrative fees, is some furniture systems for the clerk prosecutor, repair, upgrade of toilets, sinks, urinals, and tile in the Justice Building for the public access. AEDs for the Sheriff's Department, PC refresh for various departments, including a courtroom audio recording replacement project, a security gate for the parking garage, a karst trail extension construction project, field turf for our Parks Department, and parking lot repair for the airport. All of these total $3.1 million.
Very good. Questions or comments from my colleagues?
No, I don't.
No, it's an extensive list, and these are all things that we can't cover with our typical cumulative capital development fund dollars. So much of that goes for technical services department and the day-to-day operations of county government. So I support these.
Great. I have no comments. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, Ms. Purdy, would you call the roll?
Certainly. Commissioner Githens,
Yes?
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Next item, please.
Move approval of Financial Solutions Group financial advisement for GEO bond, fund name and number to be decided in the amount not to exceed $25,000.
I'll second.
Second.
Okay, this is again part of the whole bonding process, and Financial Solutions provides us with the advising services specific to this particular bond, and the fee that's incurred is actually paid from the bond proceeds. And I'd mentioned that when I gave the list of items that we're covering.
Comments or questions from my colleagues?
No, I don't.
No.
This is something we do on an annual basis, pretty much. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, Ms. Purdy, would you call the roll for motion to approve Financial Solutions Group
Certainly.
advisement for the GEO bond?
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. Next item.
Move approval of ordinance 2023-36 to create and establish correctional facilities local income tax.
Second.
And we have Ms. Turner King.
Good morning, Commissioners. This ordinance establishes a fund that the revenue from the correctional income tax that the council passed would be placed in. The statute requires that a separate fund be created, and so this ordinance would create that fund.
Questions or comments?
No, I don't.
No.
This isn't actually the tax that might be imposed, but it just creates the line, basically, right? And a place to park things.
The council passed a resolution ordinance that establishes a correctional tax. It didn't increase the tax rate, it just redistributed revenue that was in the juvenile special lit. So there is a tax in place, and we should begin receiving revenue from that tax in January. So this is the fund that revenue would go into.
Thank you. Is there public comment on this item? Seeing none, call for a vote on ordinance 2023-36 to create and establish correctional facilities local income tax. Ms. Purdy, would you call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. Next item.
Move approval of the 2023 Sophia Travis Community Service Grant Agreements, Fund name County General, Fund number 1000, in the amount of $160,830.
Second.
And do we have Ms. Munson online to talk with us? Or Ms. Shell? I believe one of those individuals was to present this.
I thought that either Commissioner Munson or Commissioner Crossley was going to be here, but I can present the item if you'd like.
Sure, and I had emailed Councilmember Munson questions about a couple of things, just because I wanted to know more about them yesterday. So I was hoping somebody would be there to talk about those today. But please go ahead.
So what's before you is the agreements for the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant. The council, the Sophia Travis Grant Committee recommended this to council. And then the council approved these, and this is the contracts that now would distribute those funds to the agencies. And I believe Councilwoman Crossley is walking in right now to maybe elaborate further.
Aha, okay. And Councilmember Crossley, as you come up, did Councilmember Munson share my questions with you last evening? I hope.
I literally just ran because I had a kid emergency this morning.
Uh-oh. Well, thank you for being here.
Okay, yes. Good morning, commissioners. Jennifer Crossley, Monroe County Council. Sophia Travis Grant Committee. Yes, she did share those with me, and I have a couple of updates for you. So, Commissioner Githens, I know you asked about 7 things here. Whew, literally ran. Trying to catch my breath.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Yeah,
we're all friends here.
I'm here. Okay. And scene. Okay. So for each grant, which schools, which farms do they visit? And the goal of the program, it's about 800 third graders, and they vary from different farms, from private farms. And those are Title I schools and MCCSC, as well as RBB. My daughter, my youngest, actually was able to go to one of those, and she brought some nice little snacks from home. So that was very much appreciative of that. And I believe their goal also is to expand that to larger schools besides just the Title I schools, which are like Fairview, Templeton, Summit of sort. So that's what they would like to do. Alexandra's Army, if you don't know about them, I highly recommend everybody look at this. This is a kid-ran and kid-led organization. And this was started back in 2020 in the pandemic. And these children are awesome. And they want to get a trailer for some of the food that they are having. And to give a little context to that, they actually also are, they are also trying to train other kids and organize other kids to have them put food drives and things like that in their neighborhood. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving, out of the mouth of babes. This is amazing. So this particular grant that they would receive from the Sophia Travis Grant Committee would go towards a trailer that would house their food and other things related to that. All options, I don't have an exact answer as to what the 3,800 would bring, but when Ms. Marchbank presented to us, it was over 120,000 diapers a year that they've given out to date. So I could only imagine what that would cost. Of course, with inflation and needs of the community, that is that there. Area 10, the adult guardianship program, I equated this to it's almost like CASA, but for adults. And so this is also something that's court appointed. This helps for those who are the adults with disabilities and the guardianship and people that are taking care of them. They've trained their volunteers to step in for those who are really needing help and can't do those things for themselves. So this was another good program for that. and it impacts about 40 individuals for this particular program. First Christian Church, what does the 2,940 pay for? This is actually a really interesting proposal for us. So when Shalom ends their breakfast on Sundays, this particular church still had people that were coming to them and asking for food, and they stepped in and helped. So this is for those that are maybe unhoused or food deficient, and they are able to provide that for them, which is great. This one also is about 50 to 75 clients. And I just also want to take a step back to and realize and let everybody know the big thing that we continue to see in the Sophia Travis grant is a lot of food and things that inflation affected a lot. So that there was a lot of that. And also a lot of these groups too were trying to work in collaboration with other groups too. So again, this will go about 50 to 75 clients a week. And this is for eggs and milk, the simple necessities that some of us take for granted, but some of our community members are definitely in need. Middle Way House, the Rise and Shine program, that is also, it's various components to the Rise and Shine, but they mainly are trying to protect children and trying to uplift children. They have a licensed early childhood education program, and also this is also to protect children that have been subjected to violence. And very emotional when you think about this. So this grant would go towards trying to make sure that their building is a little bit more secured and the windows are secured. Earlier this year, they had some windows that were broken, and just to make sure that they are protecting their clients, they're just looking for just that. And the Hand in Hand project, that actually was a really cool project to listen to. And so again, a lot of collaboration. So with Stone Belt, this is for their adults that are employed through them. And what they also do, they volunteer, those volunteers that have developmental disabilities and whatnot, actually will volunteer into the community. And what they've also done is provide backpacks and food for Community Kitchen, the children at Banneker Center, New Hope, Boys and Girls Club. So lots of things that they were provided. So those were the questions that you had asked. But again, we heard over 35 presentations. We awarded nearly over 163,000, and the need continues a lot. And again, just so much in our community that we're trying to do. Inflation has hit hard, and we all know that. Again, we've heard of everybody from county employees to these folks here that they are serving in our community have been hit very hard. And so I loved being able to be a part of Sophia Travis grant. This is my second year, but this is also my second year on council. And so it was just amazing to do that. So I hope I was able to answer your questions, Commissioner Gishens.
Well, part of that is that I wanted also the community to understand what kinds of programs that the county council has chosen to fund. I think these are, it's an incredible kind of spreading across the whole county in terms of what goes on. Anyway, let me ask my colleagues if they have questions or comments since I emailed mine yesterday.
No, I'm just always very pleased when we give out this money to the community.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Everything's very clear, but I just want to make a comment that there are some really amazing organizations here. Some of them are startup, grassroots, like Alexander's Army, and some of them are well-established programs in our community, WFHB, Planned Parenthood, Middle Way House, but it does remind us all that there are a lot of folks in need in our community. And if you have the opportunity to give your time or money to any of these organizations, I know they would appreciate it. It is always, the amounts are always very small, but the need is always much greater. So I appreciate the very difficult task that the council and the community representatives undertook to whittle this down. That is the hardest thing to do. And it's a great memorial and honor to Sophia Travis. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for all the time and energy I know it takes to go through these and to parse out what you're willing to do. I know you have to balance a lot of different things as you're doing it. And as Commissioner Thomas said, thank you also to the community members that took place. Who were those individuals this year?
Yes, thank you for that. Ms. Hattie Johnson is actually a new committee member. And so she came from she has background from working in food services for MCCSC, and she is recently retired. And then we also had other community member, Jean Kapler. And so Jean Kapler this is her second go round in this. And it was just really great to work with this. And also my counselors, Iverson and myself were a part of that. But again, hats off to Councilor Munson for organizing and our council administration and staff for putting all of this together. And, hats off and thanks to the commissioners for listening to this. And it shows a dire need. And it's, yes, that's all I can say, because we had we had more ask than we had money. So that was also a really hard task to figure out who to give what to, what was the need. And again, the basic food, clothing, and shelter were the main items that we continue to see throughout this program.
Well, and I was looking up stuff about Alexandra's Army. This was started when this young woman was 8 years old. She's now only 11. And this last weekend, they had a major food drive, and the goal was to have 100 students out helping with this and to collect 7,500 pounds of food. Yeah. That's an amazing undertaking for anyone, let alone an 11-year-old. And so she is an inspiration, as you said. She really is.
It's awesome.
Is there any public comment on this item? See none. Call for a vote on the 2023 Sophia Travis Community Service Grant Agreements.
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, Councilmember Crosley.
And apologies for being late.
No. All's well that ends well,
Thank
right?
you.
Next item, please.
Move approval of Rec Desk LLC service agreement, fund name, County General and Cumulative Capital, fund numbers 1,000 and 1138, in an amount of $6,800.
Second.
And we have Ms. Whitmer here to talk with us.
Good morning.
Morning.
This particular software is extremely important to us. When the public goes on our website, this is how they register for shelters, day camp, other programs. It's been working pretty good. We're happy with it, and we are very fortunate, and I want to thank TSD. They will be paying $4,800 out of that. The Parks Department will be paying $2,000. I think it's a good way to cooperate between departments.
Yes. Comments or questions?
No, I don't.
None.
This is basically an extension of the contract that you've had in place for a while, right?
Correct, a couple years, and hopefully we'll just continue this arrangement.
Well, and so I point that out because you know it is working.
It is working.
Yes. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, call for a vote on Rec Desk LLC service agreement.
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Next item.
Move approval of Groomer Construction, Inc., Karst Farm Park ADA projects, fund names, County General and non-reverting, Fund numbers 1,000, 1178, and 1179 in an amount not to exceed $38,428.38.
Second.
Again, Ms. Whitmer.
These are very exciting projects actually for us. Let me, to help you with a little history, in 2020, you all and the commissioners in the park board hired Bledsoe Rigger Cooper James to design ADA projects at Cars Farm Park. These are two of those projects. And what our goal is to have them basically shovel ready, and when funds come available, we'll put them into work. These particular projects will increase ADA van spaces, access routes, and to do all that and to protect the new asphalt, we needed to put some drainage in. And we're also doing a little viewing area for Field 5. So if you have a assisted device that you're using, a walker or a wheelchair, you can roll up to Field 5, go on our little area, and you can watch the game without rolling off into the field or getting stuck in some mud. So it is really important for those getting out of their car and getting where they need to go. It's important.
Very good. Comments or questions?
Yeah, I'm just very glad to see this happening, especially that people will be able to watch the games easily.
Mr. Thomas? Yeah. Any comments or questions?
Thank you for doing this.
I'm not sure what she said. There was a little bit of disruption there. I think you're breaking up.
I don't have any questions, but thank you for working on this. It's important.
And as I watch my elderly mother use a walker, I have more of an understanding of how important that is to stay involved with things and to have that available.
I mean, Cars Farm Park's 120 acres. So our goal is if you get out of your car, you can get anywhere, you can roll anywhere, you can get to the restrooms, the playgrounds, the athletic fields with no trouble.
The shelters.
The shelters.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's fabulous. I love the attitude and the philosophy that goes with this. Is there any public comment on this? Seeing none, call for a vote on Groomer Construction Inc. Cars Farm Park ADA projects.
Commissioner Gissens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Next item.
Move approval of Trailhead Labs, Inc. service agreement, fund name, county general, and non-reverting, fund numbers 1,000 and 1178 in the amount of $15,000.
Second.
Again, Ms. Whitmer.
This is also exciting. It's a software license. It is for 3 years for $5,000 a year. And if we would pay yearly, it would be more money. So this is a cost saving. It is a web-based app that allows individuals who are using the parks and recreation facilities to view interactive maps. Like if you're on a trail, you know where you're at. We chose this one because Bloomington Parks uses it also, so the public can seamlessly go between our trails and our facilities because we want to make it the easiest as possible for the public to navigate trails and parks.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, I just think this is a very exciting kind of software to have. I'm sure a lot of the community appreciates it.
So go to your app store and you download Outer Spatial. It's free.
Commissioner Thomas? Any comments or questions? I commend you for using the same software that Bloomington Parks and Rec is using because people don't understand. You step off of one trail and onto another. It's just seamless, the way that things are connected. So I think that's important.
Well, and also Duke Energy Foundation gave us a grant to get started on this. So they popped in $10,000 so we could get on the platform.
Nice. Very nice. They've been very supportive, especially of the Cars Farm
Yes,
trail.
they have.
Yes. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, call for a vote on the Trailhead Labs, Inc. service agreement.
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Whitmer. Thanks for being here. Next item, please.
Move approval of the 2023-2024 STOP Grant Agreement. Fund name, STOP Grant, Fund number 8123, in the grant amount of $117,553.30.
I may speak to this. Is Ms. Hamlin?
We
on?
need a second. Okay.
Sorry.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Okay. Ms. Hamlin, are you,
Is Ms. Hamlin?
I
think she wants to have this tabled until next Wednesday. I received an email late yesterday afternoon saying that they hadn't received the grant itself yet. And so she was hoping to get it before 4 p.m. And I have not had an opportunity to check and see if they've actually received it. So she did indicate that if it hadn't been received, she was requesting that it be tabled until next Wednesday, at which time she's also hoping she has the grant.
Okay. So
I move to table the 2023-2024 STOP Grant Agreement until October 10th,
the 11th.
2023.
I'll second. Is there any discussion on tabling?
Okay. All right. So take a roll.
Yes, let's take a roll call on the tabling the 2023-2024 STOP Grant Agreement.
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas? I think we've lost Commissioner Thomas, so motion passes 2-0.
Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Move approval of the revised subaward agreement for Reducing Revocations Challenge Grant. Fund name, Reducing Revocations, Fund number 4913, in the grant amount of $170,000.
I'll second. And we have Mr. Hatfield with us.
Good morning, Commissioners. Troy Hatfield with Probation. This is just kind of a quick housekeeping item for us. Our Reducing Revocations Challenge project that we've been involved in since 2019, we're getting ready to wrap up the second phase of that program that involves this grant. And we asked for a slight modification of our grant from our funding body because our timeline changed slightly over the past couple of years on some of the implementation pieces that we're trying to work on. And they approved that request. So this is just simply an amendment to the original agreement that would approve that modification for us. So and it's really so that we can spend all of the funding down to zero and that we won't have any money left over and we won't give anything back. So that's what I'm here today to do. The project, like I said, phase 2 is wrapping up. Our final reports on that will be available very soon and be happy to share those with the commissioners at a future date.
Thank you. Questions or comments?
Yeah, it's just very exciting that Monroe County was included in phase 2, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the final report and what actually came of this grant.
Yeah, and we're actually I'm at an event right now where I'm meeting with some of the other sites across the country, and we're really hoping our funding body, Arnold Ventures, is going to announce a phase 3 to the project. So if you recall, phase 1 is really kind of the research. What are the pathways some of our clients take that kind of give them an unsuccessful outcome that might lead to jail or prison? And then phase 2 is some of the programs and services that we can implement in our department and in our local justice system to try to disrupt those pathways, to keep them from those unsuccessful completions. So we're still working on that implementation piece. And then we're hoping that phase 3 will allow us to continue to partner with our research partners to evaluate the changes that we made, to see how big of a difference we have made in our community in terms of creating more successful outcomes for our clients. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they're going to announce some funding for phase 3 in the next couple of days. And that would be wonderful news for our county and for us.
Commissioner Thomas, do you have anything?
No, I just want to say I look forward to seeing the report as well.
Yes. Yes, I was going to say the same thing. So hopefully you'll bring us that update later. Commissioner Thomas keeps floating in and out here. So is there any public comment on this item? And I would like to ask TSD to promote me so that on my laptop I can see what is in the chat. So sorry I didn't say that before. I'm sorry, I did call for public comment. Don't see any public comment, so can we have a vote on the revised subaward agreement for reducing revocations challenge grant?
Certainly. Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. Before Mr. Hatfield leaves, I think we need to recognize him. Troy, I don't have it in front of me. I didn't realize you were going to be attending today, but I believe you received an award, a national award from probation officers, and I think that needs to be kind of shouted out. If you can give some elaboration, it's terrible to have you elaborate on your own award. I apologize for that, but if you could, that'd be great. But the other thing I want to say is this department, probation, maximizes their grant dollars, and when he says they're going to spend it all out, they do. They don't send anything back if they can. So just want to say that. But Troy, if you don't mind, I think people do need to know the award you received, and it is significant.
Well, I appreciate that acknowledgement. It was an award, it's a Probation Executive of the Year award given out by the National Association of Probation Executives. And that's a nationwide association. I was, very honored, very pleased to receive that. And, there's a lot of wonderful people that have come before me with that award, including our chief, Linda Brady. So I think, it's a testament of the support that we get locally to be able to pursue and do the things that we want to do to try to make an impact in our community. And I really appreciate that.
I think we are blessed in Monroe County to have our probation department. So I think it's great.
It does make a difference in the community. And I thank you, Mr. Hatfield. So with that, can we have a vote on the revised, we did that vote. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hatfield. Yeah. Okay, I get thrown off here pretty easily today. Okay, call for the next item.
Move approval of the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence, MOU, Fund Name BTCC, Fund Number 4111, in an amount of $3,000 per year for 5 years.
Second.
And we have Ms. Schmidt and Ms. Linchek here with us. Hello.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Vanessa Schmidt from the Youth Services Bureau. I'm here with Hannah Linchek. She is our prevention coordinator. We are here just to request approval of a MOU between the Youth Services Bureau, the subcommittee BTCC, and Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence to work together for the Delta Ahead project. And if you have any questions specifically about that, our Hannah is here to help with that. And again, this is for an amount of $3,000 per year for a term of 5 years.
Comments or questions?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing a little bit about that program.
Sure.
Okay. Happy to share. The program is a partnership between preventionists across the state, coordinated by the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence with the Delta grant funding. The goal is to bring preventionists into alignment so that their work is able to better build safe, stable, nurturing relationships and environments for marginalized communities across Indiana, specifically focusing on Black women, individuals with disabilities, and youth leadership building.
Thank you. Commissioner Thomas?
I have a quick question. I'm having trouble with the connection with the courthouse, but this is a grant award to the VTCC. Is that correct?
Correct.
When I was reading through all this, there was a strange kind of contract time. It said that it started May 1st of 2023 and then ran through the end of March of 2028. So it's not, that last year is 11 months, not 12 months? Was that intentional, or is that a typo, or?
We'll look into that. I don't have an answer. My guess is it was intentional, just based off of some sort of funding. But I will definitely double check with the executive director of IACDV.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, call for a vote on the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence, ICADV, MOU.
Commissioner Githens.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you both for being here today. Appreciate that. Next item.
Move approval of RQAW Corporation Professional and Management Services Agreement. Fund name, American Rescue Plan, fund number 8950, in the amount of $85,000.
I'll second. And
Second.
we have Mr. Kreider here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Richard Kreider, Facilities and Fleet. This request is to accept the contract proposal submitted by RQAW Corporation in the amount of $85,000 to provide all mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering services required to replace the cooling tower, 3 water pumps, exterior piping, service elevator, and electrical upgrades associated with the project. The scope of work includes 1, an additional review of existing conditions, 2, project coordination, 3, preliminary design, 4, final design, 5, bidding process, 6, construction administration. And again, this is for the Monroe County Convention Center.
Questions or comments?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Commissioner Thomas?
No.
This really is just all the design work for this. It's not actually
It is.
doing the real
It's
work.
the design and the planning process and then putting it out for bid.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a pretty extensive project.
Yes.
Comments or questions?
No, I don't.
Any public comment on this item? Sorry, trying to look at 2 things at once here. Seeing none, call for a vote on the RQAW Corporation Professional and Management Services Agreement.
Commissioner Githens.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, Mr. Kreider.
Thank you.
Next item.
Move approval of awarding paving projects to Milestone Contractor and EMB Paving LLC. Fund name, Motor Vehicle Highway, fund number 1176, in the amount of $416,531.
Second.
And we have Ms. Rich.
Good morning. So we opened bids on September 11th for Birch Road and Starnes Road. So we recommend the following awards: Birch Road to Milestone Contractors with a bid of $176,056, and Starnes Road to EMB Paving with a low bid of $240,475. And these will be completed most likely at the end of October.
Wow. Fast work.
I'm trying to push it.
Any comments or questions?
I think I just made mine.
Commissioner Thomas.
No, no comments. Thank you for working on this.
I would say too that you have extensive experience with both of these contractors, and they do the work on time. And
Yeah, we have a really good working relationship with both the contractors here locally. They do a great job for the county, and their bid prices are really really good when it comes to contracting out to what we can do in-house. So then that gives us, it frees our crews up to still patch potholes and cut brush and trees and everything else, that mowing that needs to be done. So it works out really well.
And these are, the highway crews are the same people that in the winter are out there plowing the roads and doing other things. So
Absolutely.
Our highway department is busy all the time. Comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, a call for a vote on award paving projects to Milestone Contractor and E&B Paving LLC.
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Next item.
Move approval of ordinance 2023-33 to amend various traffic ordinances.
Second.
Ms. Ridge?
Yeah, these items went to our Traffic Commission meeting in September. It's amending ordinance 8611 to add no parking on Dillman Lane, to amend 86-09, which is speed limit ordinance, to lower Cordova Place, Nottingham Court, Plateau Place, and Manor Court to 25 mile per hour, and to amend 86-06, which is our stop location ordinance, to make Wampler Road and Burma Road an all-way stop intersection.
Comments or questions?
No, I don't.
These are done to make the residents safer here, so I appreciate this.
Yeah, some of these come in as a request from residents. And to clarify on the speed limit, we delete the one that's 30 mile per hour to add the one that's 25. The same with the stop locations. It was a two-way stop. And again, some of these are from our engineering staff of what they see. We monitor crashes throughout the year. So this is a compilation of some of those items.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on this item? Or do you have comments or questions?
No, I don't.
Seeing none, call for a vote on ordinance 2023-33 to amend various traffic ordinances.
Commissioner Githens?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas?
She's frozen again, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Motion passes 3-0.
Great. We have no appointments this week. I believe, Commissioner Thomas, you had an announcement?
I do, and hopefully everyone can hear me. This is a notification for the public inviting anyone in Monroe County who's interested to join the Monroe County Health Equity Council. It's a community call-out meeting, and it will be at the downtown library branch in room 1B on Monday, October 16th from 6:30 to 7:30. And what we're trying to do is engage additional community members to be part of this amazing group. I've been working with this group, and since during COVID, we started Community Voices for Health, and now it's evolved into a long-term permanent engagement group for the community called Monroe County Health Equity Council. So if you'd like to join us to learn how to make your voice heard and how to ensure that those who are underrepresented in our community have a say in public health, please join us. And there is a Zoom link, but I can't share it because it's a big, long URL. So if you would like more information, contact mchealthequitycouncil@gmail.com. And you can get the Zoom link that way. So you can join via Zoom, or you can come visit the meeting live at the library. It's only going to be an hour long, but it just is a great way to get involved in a really important part of our daily life in our community. So thank you for that.
Hopefully we can get that up on our website so that that becomes even more visible. Do you have any announcements? I've got a few here. So.
No, I don't.
Okay. So I will remind people once again that there is free COVID testing still available, and in addition to what you can get through our Monroe County Health Department or at the Public Health Clinic on Miller Drive, you can also get online for free COVID tests at covidtest.gov. We are still accepting some applications for boards and commissions. You can do that at co.monroe.in.us. Today's just not a good day for me. We also continue to hold virtual office hours. Again, you can get that at the county website by clicking on the calendar and seeing when those virtual office hours are available to you. They're on different days and different times during the day to try to make them as available as possible to residents. We have blood drives coming up on Wednesday, October the 18th from 10 to 3, and Thursday, October 19th from 1 to 6. Also on Wednesday, November the 8th from 1 to 6, and Friday, November the 10th from 10 to 3. These are at Ivy Tech in Shreve Hall. I keep getting notices that there is a severe blood shortage, especially for O positive. So if you're able to do that, please get out and help. Residents can sign up for the Monroe County Alert Notification System. This is for all weather and health-related emergencies and updates. And there was a possibility. There was a young child who died this past week, kindergartner, with it may have been viral meningitis was the fear when the child died. That's since been rolled out through autopsy, but had that been the case, the alert would have gone out through our health emergency. So please get on the county alert notification system. Again, that's at co.monroe.in.us. And finally, the county commissioners and county council have extended the assistance fund for county residents who need assistance in paying rent or utilities. If you're income qualified, please, and need that help, please contact your township trustee for further information. Every resident of Monroe County has a township trustee. Does anyone else have anything for the good of the order? I don't believe we have a work session today, do we? Okay, well, with that, we will adjourn, and we will be back here next week, I believe, on October the 11th at 10 a.m. See you next week. Thank you, everyone.